welcome back to the Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Late Night David.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
It's a little later than normal. My apologies.
So how's your week been?
Busy. It's been busy this week. I've been working a lot, so.
Are you working for the weekend?
I think it's fair to say that everybody's working for the weekend.
You're right.
I've never understood, like, that means that they're, like, working during the week, anticipating the weekend, right?
Yeah,
like
they're working to get money for the weekend to party.
Yeah. See, I'm not doing that because I work on the weekends.
Yeah, same here.
So I only don't work Fridays and every, like, odd Tuesday. Those are my days off. Friday, and then on Tuesdays that I don't have counsel, which is not quite half of the time. So, but yeah, so there was that, you know, I had counsel, had to work here, picked up actually, I didn't even have Friday off this week because Chris wanted me to cover a couple of hours last night, which was fine.
Oh, that's I was like, why is he on the register?
Were you here yesterday?
No, I mean, that's when I counted in. I saw your name the day before.
Yeah, because I came in and I logged in because Chris was here, but he was originally going to go pick up some stuff at JMG or something like that. And then he just says like, hey, man, if you just want to hang out for a couple hours or whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I'll hang out. I'm here. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm not taking off. And I was like, okay. So he did leave to go do something really quick, but he came back and we just cranked out a bunch of stock that he got that day. You guys got Tatuaje and Illusion in yesterday. And so
dude, that Noella is fire. It's so fucking good.
Fuck, I almost got one. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I have already just read.
Yeah, I smoked it this morning. I was like, whoa, this is what I remember.
That's a good stick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was cool. You know, just kicked it with him for a couple hours, helping him put out stock, and made $100 in tips in like 2.5 hours. So that was nice. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, really, I went out for dinner with the old lady tonight, and
you eat some biscotti.
No, we went to Miso or Meso or whatever it is, some Mediterranean place over in Santana Row. Ooh. So that was pretty cool. It's a little pricey though, man. It's like the portion's not very big.
No kidding, Santana Row.
Well, not everything in Santana Row is pricey.
It generally is.
No, I don't mean like kind of pricey. I mean like
this is really pricey.
Fucking not really pricey, just for like a sit down restaurant. Like the counter isn't expensive. Maggiano's is not expensive. Poke Bowl is not expensive. What's the other place?
Seems like the prices are a little bit higher than outside of Santana Row. Like
right, but I'm talking about like I went. Okay, so here's what we got for dinner. We got hummus with lamb in it. Okay, a side of olives, one cocktail each, a Manhattan and an old fashioned, and then these kebabs like this fucking big, right? So I got 2 of those, and I got 3 of those, and she got 2 of those. Okay, so it was like a decent dinner. I was out more than $100.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm not even all that full. I go to Maggiano's, I drop $40.
Yeah.
I'm full to the gills, and they give me food to take home.
Yeah, that's their thing.
It's like, that's fucking good.
Yeah.
This is like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be stuffed to the gills. I like modest portion sizes, but it would be nice if it wasn't fucking $100 for 2 people for one dinner at a place that's not like a particular, you know what I mean?
And plus, you're paying a COVID tax too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, fucking, I went to La Fondue. It was only, I mean, it was more than that, but, you know, that's like a nice restaurant. Alexander's is a nice restaurant or whatever. This is like a fine restaurant. It's like going to Boca de Beppo or whatever.
Oh, that bad?
It's not bad, but like...
Well, Boca de Beppo is just like...
Fine.
It's like 2 clicks up above Olive Garden, I think.
This is like 2 clicks up from Nick the Greek.
Oh, okay. That's not really saying much. Yeah.
Yeah, 2-3 clicks up from that.
Yeah.
As far as like quality, I mean, it's decent enough food. It's edible and like it tastes like Mediterranean food, not like, you know, Nick the Greek is more like fast food Mediterranean food. Yeah,
it'd be like McDonald's, Red Robin. No, wait.
Five Guys.
Five Guys?
I would say like the hierarchy.
Mickey D's, Five Guys, Red Robin.
I mean, like, and I think Five Guys is in the same ballpark as far as quality goes, is like Smash Burger and In-N-Out. Like or Shake Shack. Those are all on the same, like, one tier up from Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King.
Yeah. And
then up from there, you probably have like Grub, Red Robin. Although I prefer Smash Burger to Red Robin, frankly. But
I never had Red Robin.
It's fine, but it's just more of a, hearty gourmet burger.
It seems like it's more like a Chili's than anything else, but it's like they specialize in burgers.
No, not really. I mean, it's got a bunch of crazy like that, but they're just, I mean, the burgers are bigger and they're more gourmet burgers, but like I like Smash Burger more. And then up from there you have like, a fancy restaurant place. Yeah.
Bottom of the barrel fast food, better quality fast food, and then sit down cash.
Yeah, fast casual, casual, and then you would have like a gourmet place that maybe you could get like foie gras on your burgers and shit like that. Yeah. So yeah, this is in the like basically the somewhere between fast casual and sit down.
Okay.
It's like at the top of the fast casual or the bottom of the sit down restaurant place.
Yeah.
Although I will say the decor is pretty nice, so maybe it is solidly in the sit down restaurant place, which I guess that makes the pricing competitive.
They have a bunch of guys with like their button down shirts like halfway buttoned up and they got like a gold medallion.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there was no.
Okay.
Waitresses there are attractive. I'll say that. So that was nice. Most of them are fairly good looking. The people that go in there are fairly good looking. So it's always nice to go somewhere where there's not like a bunch of fucking trolls like dragging their knuckles.
They're not wearing masks?
Huh?
They're not wearing masks?
The who?
The servers?
Yeah, of course they are.
Oh. They just have nice bodies.
Well, and they're dressed nice and well groomed, and they look like, I mean, surely someone like CBP doesn't walk in somewhere and you mistakenly think he's like a good looking guy.
Oh my god, what the hell?
No, you just...
I like knives.
Yeah, I like knives.
So, okay, for the people that don't know or you're seeing this in the future, we're having another lockdown. Surprise, surprise.
Again.
Yeah. So, first it was the curfew, right? Now it's the lockdown. And
they have to like doubly not be enforcing the curfew this weekend because like seriously you're gonna be like people are trying to get one last semblance of going out to do stuff and you're just gonna like
no, fuck you.
You're all past curfew.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. So is there any plans for your shop closing or Aloni cigars to shut down or modify their
just gonna stop providing seating outside.
That's it? Okay. Not bad.
So people will still hang out, I'm sure, but we're gonna stop providing seating. It's funny because it seemed like when the first kind of regulations got handed down, it was like, well, it seems like we would follow the regulations for restaurants. I mean, it seems fair, right? Everyone's like, yeah, for restaurants, whatever restaurants are doing, it seems like that's what we would be doing. And then now restaurants are closing and they're like, well, but it says retail and, we're exempt, retail's exempted.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, a cigar shop is a retail shop, right? And it's like, whatever, man. However you want to interpret it to make sure that you can stay open, that's cool by me. That just seems the way it is. It's like, man, interpret it in a way. I don't think anyone really fucking knows. And doesn't seem to be any enforcement. And even if there is enforcement, I'm betting that the penalty is so low the first time around that it's like, you might as well just fucking stay open. Yeah. Slap on the wrist, $200 fine or something stupid like that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly. We're gonna stay open, but I'm not exactly sure what we're planning to do for the outside. Well,
you're broadcasting your outlawcity.
Yeah, I'm a rude dude with attitude.
Oh yeah, you're like rude dog.
Yeah. So what else? Okay. So what else have you been up to?
We've been trying to like work on some D&D stuff so that we can get the new campaign underway. Since I killed you guys all again.
Yep.
Chris killed you all again.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Oh well.
Yeah, I was thinking about going and seeing before they announced that everything was going to close down. Somebody told me that California Billiards in Fremont was open. I was like, oh, maybe on Saturday we'll go see about like fucking shooting some pool up at California Billiards. And then like I'm like, no, it's no
lockdown.
It's not going to be open. It shouldn't be open now, really.
Yeah,
but apparently they are. So
are they in a different county? No.
I mean, they're in Alameda County, but their purple tier too.
Purple Rain.
Yeah. We play tested your buddy's game again.
Yeah.
So that was beta tested, I guess.
Yeah.
Play tested, whatever you call it.
It was fun. There was just a little confusion with some cards, but in
Yeah.
general, it's still a fun game.
Yeah, it's a really fun game. Yeah, if we would know that, I never realized on that, like reading through the stuff with the Demon Stone, like how really poorly worded all of that is.
Mm-hmm.
It really needs like a lot of polishing, and like I couldn't even like begin to understand what it was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? And we have to get. I mean, there's a few other minor things that we just kind of like
brushed away,
needed clarity on. Yeah. But, like, it works both ways.
Yeah, luckily it's not game breaking.
Uh-uh.
So, that's a plus, so.
Yeah, we got our asses handed to us, though.
Yeah.
Bad strategy. Well, we didn't
Yeah, we split up, that's why. I think we... And then, plus, there's, like, parts of the game where, like, there's portals. And then Chris took your portal, so you can
and everybody, he took my portal and then immobilized me and moved. And then I had a character who has nothing but powers that are like within like 1 or 2 tiles. Mm-hmm. Like I had no ranged capability. None of my powers, like on my cards, mm-hmm. had range on them at all. Mm-hmm. And I have 1 ranged attack, and the range is like 1. Mm-hmm. It was like, fuck. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like 5 or 6 tiles away, and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And so it was just a confluence of slight misstep on strategizing, and then the bad luck of getting immobilized, and luck of having a character that really doesn't have any range capabilities. Mm-hmm. So that was crummy. I think we would have fared better. It seemed like we were faring pretty okay, like over there with your 2 characters by yourself.
Yeah.
Like my initial character wouldn't have died so quickly, I think, if I hadn't have splintered that one guy off, because mm-hmm. he was out of the game for fucking like 4 or 5 rounds. Like he couldn't do anything. It was like the first or second round, and then he just like up until like the end, it was mm-hmm. like he wasn't doing fuck all. It was kind of stupid.
Yeah, and you were rolling pretty bad too.
Yeah,
so that didn't help.
But mostly it was just I didn't with you just choose a guy that seems kind of cool without really having a good idea of what their powers do.
Yeah.
You choose them based on their features, mm-hmm. their movement, mm-hmm. their melee and ranged prowess, and their speed. Because you don't know the whole deck of cards like the back of your hand, and you're not going to go through and whatever, mm-hmm. Learn all the decks. And so it's like, I didn't realize like how little versatility that guy had. He's really made to be right in the thick of everything, and he was like the opposite of that. So it was like he's basically useless if he's not in the thick of things. Mm-hmm. And so that was just a bad thing, but we'll get him next time. Strategize a little better. Mm-hmm. But it was fun. I definitely would play it again, especially if some of the kinks get ironed out. Did you prefer the PvP, or did you like the Overlord player thing more?
It'd be interesting to see how the Overlord plays, because we didn't play it correctly the first time around.
Yeah.
So see how challenging that is to have the actual like game set correctly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because that's in 3-player and 6-player, or
it skips 1. I forgot which one. I think 7.
Yeah, it skips 7. There's no 7-player mode. Yeah. But PvP is 2 is PvP, 3 is Overlord versus Champions, mm-hmm. 4 is PvP, 5 is Overlord versus Champions, 6 is PvP, 7 skips, 8 is Champions versus Champions. Mm-hmm. So basically it's 3 and 5. When there's 3 and 5 players, I think it's Overlord versus Champions.
Yeah. It'll be fun to play again. We'll play it again. Just need some clarifications on some of the cards.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you? What are you up to?
There was a lot of good podcasts this week.
Word.
Yeah. First of all, Tom Segura has his own podcast. It's called Tom Talks, and he had DJ Premier, famous producer DJ dude from Gangstar, and produced a lot of like hip hop classics. And it was kind of interesting to hear that stuff, because that's kind of like that. I think his production reign, I guess, was from like the very late 80s to the very late 90s of his popularity. with Gangstar, and it's interesting to hear those backstories because I don't listen to a lot of podcasts that have like a lot of like rap people in it. So it was kind of interesting to hear the stories behind.
Well, rap artists tend to but
That's very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a producer, and there's like a classic sound with him. Like you don't even have to know who produced it, but he's like, oh, that's a Primo beat. You could clearly tell his style. They don't all sound the same, but there's very distinct watermarks, I guess you would say, for that. So that was fun to hear that interview. Another one, Tiger Belly, had Bill Burr on it. That was great to hear. So,
fucking Bill Burr's just like on everything lately.
Yeah.
Like it's like he's doing more stuff like now that COVID is a thing. It seems like he's just fucking everywhere.
Oh yeah, because he's stuck in LA.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of podcasters in LA, so makes sense.
And plus, he said he was taking a break from writing comedy, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
which is good.
yeah.
So
because he's gonna come out swinging. He fucking comes dunk all over everything. It's gonna be like when Chappelle took like 4 or 5 years off. Just come back.
Oh, have another exciting news. The McCrib is back, and it was very sad to eat it.
It was funny because I just showed Bailey that. Oh shit! Bailey's gonna tax me.
Oh,
we were talking about him last week, and he was like, "Man, I heard my name come up on your guys' podcast. I'm gonna start fucking taxing you. I owe you $1, Bailey. $2 now." He's like, I'm gonna start taxing you every time you say my name. You get one for free. But I just showed him the
McCrib,
the McCrib girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the McCrib's back. It's like, damn, I need some McCrib in my life. I haven't had a McCrib in like 15 years. At 80, it's like, oh man, this is not good.
That's long enough that you might have forgotten how to eat it. You might need McCrib notes.
Whoa. Yeah.
Dad joke right here.
Whoa.
Right here.
No. Yeah.
Big schlong.
People got really excited about the McCrib. Like a bunch of my friends, and then Chicago John's like, I had like 2 today. I was like, all right, cool, man. So I was like, oh, I haven't had a McCrib in a while.
Dude, okay. So speaking of Chicago John. You know something is cringy with Chris Davis is like, fucking damn, dude. Because Chris Davis is the fucking king of like dunking on people. Like he just crossover dribble and just dunk on anybody.
Yeah.
It don't matter. They could be like a one-arm retarded guy who just got his puppy ran over by a fucking car or something. He'd be like, fuck y'all. But you know, like guy 7 comes in here.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's really gregarious. Doesn't need a lot of help. Tips well.
Yeah.
Right. My kind of dude.
He's a dude who's like, oh man, you got all the, oh my god, that guy. I was like, dude, I like your energy, bro.
Yeah, and just when you'll call him and be like, I'm really excited. It's like he'll dial it back, like it's like a switch you can just turn on and off.
That was pretty good.
Anyway, so that guy's in there, right? I'm helping him, and he comes up to the register. This was last night, I think. He comes up to the register, and he gets like a bunch of fucking cigars, and he's like, you, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm working. And he's like, yeah, okay. Well, as long as it's for you, I like you. I don't like this guy over here. He points to Chris, right? He's just like, but he's in his like friendly way. It's obvious he's being friendly.
Yeah.
And Chris is like, oh, well, that means you're officially part of the family now, right? Like you're, like you can't be a regular until you arrive at the final train stop that you don't like me, right? Just kind of giving it back to him, right? I mean, those are my words. I'm paraphrasing, but and he's like, oh fuck, man, I didn't know that. You know, I had to just do that, and I'd be considered one of the guys. I started hating on you a long time ago, right? And so we're all having a good laugh about it, right? And then John Savick is like right behind him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, it's like, you know, hey, that's the thing. That's the thing about you know, Press Pass. Yeah, he's likable." And I'm like, "No, I'm not likable." He's like, "No, Savick's like, I like you," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." John's like, "Oh, I like you too." He's like, "But the good thing about Press Pass is he'll just be straight up with you. He's just that kind of guy. Like he'll just tell you, you know, if he doesn't like you, he doesn't, you know, think you're friends. You know, he had this whole thing about like he's trying to be all jocular with me about it. He's like, yeah, you know, it's you know, because like I consider him a friend. I'm like, we're not friends, John. We're not friends. And he's like, oh, I guess I don't meet his pretty high standard for what a friend is. I'm like, no, this is my standard. Be a person that I like.
Yeah.
And I will be your friend. And then it was just like this silence where he was like, and Chris was just like, fuck, dude, damn. Like, and it was just like, just stone face, like, just fuck off and leave me alone, right? And then so he kind of just chuckled, left there, and like walked out, right? And Chris was like, damn, dude, that was fucking savage. I was like, yeah, fuck that guy. I was like, fucking tired of that guy. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, fuck him.
Okay. So that's good.
So I thought you would appreciate that. And I know he'll never hear this because he'll never listen to the podcast. But
it was like every time I go out there and talk to him, he mentions the podcast. Like, so how's the podcast? I don't know once you listen to it. You're never going to listen to it. That's okay. Yeah, so the McCrib.
McCrib.
Yeah, it was, as a kid, I imagined it's like really good. It's like, oh, it's fucking.
I never liked it.
It's not good now.
It tastes like fucking dog food or something. It's not good. But I'm not a big like barbecue sauce guy.
Oh, that's right. You don't like that shit.
I'm not big on barbecue sauce.
You don't like the sauce, bro.
I don't. I mean, it's not a terrible condiment, but it's just like I can't think of a single thing that I want it on. Like, and what's weird, doubly weird, is no, I don't want barbecue on barbecue sauce. What I want is like a nice dry rub, where that fucking like collagen like seeps out and mixes with that dry rub and creates that fucking delicious rind.
Like a sauce of some sort.
It's almost like it's a sauce that like cooks from the inside out and like marinades in like these real spices and like
herbs and spices.
Yeah, and is like and like this crust of like awesome, not like some fucking sugar laden like barbecue flavored gibberish, right? Like I don't need that. It's just gross. So yeah, I don't like barbecue sauce on pretty much anything. So I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like I hate on it. I just can't think of a single thing that's improved by barbecue sauce.
All right.
So, never been a big fan of the McCrib. And so you were disappointed then? It was like a childhood thing?
I was like, yeah, no wonder I don't eat these things.
Are you a Shamrock Shake guy? Because people go, that's not a McDonald's thing.
Yeah, I've never had one before.
It's just a mint milkshake.
Yeah, I never.
But again, I'm not like a mint.
I don't like their milkshakes. Or their milky concoction, whatever it is. Because like once you have like other milk,
it's potatoes actually.
Yeah. You go to other places and it's like a real milkshake. It's like, why the fuck would I get anything from here?
I don't know. It's just kind of like, I mean, like how McDonald's isn't really like a hamburger. It's not really a milkshake either. I'm sure for some people, that's what they want when they want a milkshake.
Yeah.
Like the way I don't want, like when I want a Totino's pizza, it's like I want
Totino's. What's up, bro?
Yeah. I want that pizza. I don't want like a slice of. I get a slice of New York pizza from it. It's like, no, I want this shitty pizza substitute.
Sure. Yeah.
Or like there's some flavor.
I imagine like an Italian. What are you eating this pizza for? It's not even pizza.
It's not. It's like, don't you have some flavorings that are like that, where you just like the fucking like fake flavoring more than the actual flavoring of it?
Yeah, I'm sure there is, but I can't think of one right now.
Yeah, I can't either, but like maybe well, I don't know, maybe grape soda.
Yeah, I don't like grape soda. I only like the only kind of grape flavored thing I like is like Welch's grape juice. That's the only thing I
so
like.
that tastes like grapes though.
I guess, yeah.
Right, but so like grape drink or grape soda does not.
It tastes like cough syrup.
It doesn't. That's how I feel about like cherry flavored things for the most part.
Yeah.
But like they don't usually, or like banana flavored stuff does not taste like bananas at all.
Yeah.
It just
That's not good.
But like if you like that, it's like, oh, it's a banana flavor.
The one thing I do like, whatever food scientist like this found out the secret recipe to how to make mango flavored stuff, was like they fucking nailed it.
Yeah, mango flavored stuff almost always tastes just like mango.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Same thing with apple flavored stuff.
Yeah.
Things that are apple flavored are almost always like apple flavored high chew just tastes like an apple slice.
Yeah.
But
there's some beaver
gooey
juice in there, baby.
I don't know what it is. It's delicious.
I think it's beaver juice or something like that.
Beaver juice?
Yeah, there's like a gland in the beaver that they squeeze out, and then like they take something out of that and
put it into high chew.
They make it apple flavored stuff.
Oh, apple flavored stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying high chew. Like high chew fucking hates beavers.
Fuck these beavers.
There's a high chew hates beavers.
Beaver beaters. High chew.
Beaver beaters. What's that Chappelle video? He's like, he don't just get up on it. He beat the pussy up. He beat it up. Beat the pussy up. It's like, damn. But you know, like medicine, like when you need McDonald's or McNuggets, right? Like people that like McNuggets. I'm not a big McNuggets guy, but like nothing scratches that itch. For me, it's Crazy Bread and like quarter pounders with cheese. Crazy Bread is not breadsticks.
Yeah,
Not
like
really.
a Wiener Schnitzel chili cheese dogs.
There you go.
That's it for me.
Yeah, Wiener
Like,
Schnitzel chili cheese dogs,
Yeah.
or like you don't really like Crazy Red either, do you?
It's all right.
It's just like this. It's not really breadsticks. It's like weird doughy fucking.
Yeah, it's just-
but it's so good.
Yeah.
It's just like all garlic and butter and Parmesan. It's like, oh, it's so good.
I don't know. Sometimes you get those. There's like a big trend with like pizza places making like kind of like curry sandwiches, like butter chicken, chicken tandoori, like sandwiches. So good, and they make like a curry kind of crazy bread.
I'm not into it.
It's so good.
One
You
of the
had it.
No. I just like one of the things I like about Indian food is that is the whole that there's just like a little bit of bread and I can just sop up the juice and eat the chicken by itself.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like, bah, 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 and then just like the sop and
Yeah.
I dig that. So like adding bread to the equation already just doesn't seem like it adds up.
It's so good. Good. And the pizza they make is so good.
It's just like I'm a guy that doesn't really like gyros as much as I just like gyro meat with tzatziki sauce on it.
Sure.
I just like gyro meat. Like instead of giving me a gyro with all the things, just give me like a pound of gyro meat and like fucking tzatziki sauce.
Yeah.
And I'll just fucking run through it.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you put the bread and everything around it, it's like, I mean, I don't.
That's pretty good.
It's still pretty good, but
It's
like I
pretty good.
I want open field on fucking gyro meat, dude. That's my thing.
Oh.
That's one thing this place does. Is like it has hummus and you get like grilled lamb. So it's like all crispy, like delicious lamb like on it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, lamb is good.
Yeah.
I've had it for the first time like a year ago.
Like what did you have? Do you have like shanks or skewers or chops?
Chops.
Yeah.
I like a little nibble from a plate. Like, ooh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, I guess you could cook it the wrong way and it'll fuck it up, but the way it was prepared the time I had it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. I don't know. I'm a bigger fan of it like in skewers and like shaved lamb than I am or like gyro meat or whatever than I am like a lamb chop.
Yeah, it brings that smokiness from the meat.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's where it's from. Like when you have gyro meat, is it from them cooking it on that thing or
Spit? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, oh no, it's from
And gyro meat is usually beef and lamb,
Yeah.
so it's like half and half.
Yeah.
Like real lamb is like richer than that.
Yeah.
So especially if it gets like a little crispy, but like I don't know how I would like a medium rare lamb chop. I don't know that it would be as good. Maybe it would be good. I don't know. I keep waiting for Butcher Box to get lamb. It seems like the next logical step. They keep adding all these fucking seafood and shit. They must be really big in California, is why.
Probably.
And like they're big on the coast. I bet you anything. It's big on the coast.
Yeah.
Because the food costs here are already expensive enough that like Butcher Box is basically just like a comparable price. But like I don't think that they like
You go to the Midwest, like,
right. If you go to Iowa,
I want to go out there when I shoot the cow over here.
or just in general, like why would you pay this much for your meat to
Yeah.
have it delivered when it's like you could just go to the grocery store and pay half as much? Like, but when it's competitive, though, people order online.
Is it a select or a prime cut from Butcher Box?
It's select.
Okay.
I don't think they have prime beef.
Okay.
Which is one. I don't think they have any prime beef. I think it's just select, choice select prime, right?
Yeah, choice select prime.
So it's just select. But yeah, they've been adding stuff, especially they had turkeys for the holidays and shit. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not a big turkey guy.
Turkey's fine once in a while. Like a staple for most people.
Well, the thing is if you get like if you get like a wild turkey, which do you guys even have wild turkeys out here? Okay, you do. I don't know anybody that hunts turkeys, so here anyway. Everybody I know that hunts out here seems like they hunt pigs or deer. That's it.
Yeah, if you head towards Sacramento, there's a lot of turkey there.
Oh, it's because that's the Midwest of
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway,
Have you been to Sacramento?
no, I just hear that about it,
okay.
and I've seen like movies that were like feature Sacramento, and it does look like the Midwest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But like wild turkey, like turkeys that you like shoot and kill,
They're
and
eating bugs
they're
and
normal
acorns and
sized
shit like
turkeys.
that.
They're like 8 to 11 pounds.
Yeah.
Taste a lot better than like a store bought turkey.
I imagine.
It's sort of like a Cornish game hen.
Yes, I had it.
Yeah. And they're little, and it's kind of annoying how little they are trying to eat them, but the meat is really fucking delicious. Yeah. It's like, oh man, it's so good. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like that, like the difference between regular chicken and Cornish game hen is about the same difference between store-bought turkey and like a wild turkey.
Okay.
Which is good, but yeah, I don't really get that, so I don't really fucking care about turkey, but they're adding all this other shit, and I'm like, dude, why don't you fucking add buffalo, elk, or lamb? Those things will fucking like just blow up. Yeah. And they're adding scallops and salmon and fucking whatever.
Buffalo, I know they do farm. Elk, I think they have to import that from New Zealand. Mm-hmm. Right, so.
Yeah, that's probably the problem, is like getting a source for it. Mm-hmm. Beefalo, it's delicious. Yeah, that's a thing that should happen.
I've asked this question before, I think, but does it look like a buffalo, or what does it look like?
It just looks like a mixture of the two things.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird.
It's a weird looking critter. Mm. It's a delicious critter.
Yeah. So I need to try it. It sounds really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh. It's like the richness and kind of I don't want to say bloodiness, but not gaminess is not the word I'm looking for. But it kind of like certain meats, like lamb is this way. It kind of has like that, like just more
savory.
But it's just like more like almost like a blood flavor to it. That's like kind of like, I don't know, it's just flavorful and rich in flavor. Mm-hmm. So it's got that of the buffalo, but then it's got like the know, so it's like together. It's like really good. Because buffalo is normally fairly lean.
Yeah, from what I understand.
And so it's like, it's good, but it's just like really lean. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, you get flavorful meat, but you don't want flavorful meat with like fattiness in it, like enough fattiness to make it delicious. And lo and behold, super animal, super delicious. So, there's something I was going to tell you. I already fucking forgot what it was. I should have just told you before the podcast.
Okay.
No, that's what it was. I was listening to the Velvet Underground on the way here.
Okay.
And I forget what the fuck is the name of that song. Lonesome Cowboy Bill. You know that song? Lonesome Cowboy Bill. No, I've never heard that. And I haven't heard it in a long time. And then for some reason I'm driving here and in my head I'm picturing that it's really lonely out here. It's lonely, real lonely. It's fucking busted up. For those of you that don't know, there's a customer that comes into West Coast and we call him Cowboy Bill, and he's got very animated eyebrows and a very particular voice that is very characteristic of him. And when he says certain phrases, it's just really funny. So I guess it's more of an inside joke. But yeah, I don't know why. Just like lonesome cowboy.
Speaking of cigar customers, this is the first for me. I've never had this happen. I'm hoping this is not a trend, or maybe I should want it to be a trend. There's a guy that came in. He was looking for Oliva V's in a certain size. Didn't have them. And I said, we don't have them. Would you like a...
Fuck off. We don't carry this shit,
No,
bitch.
He goes, and I go, would you like me to suggest you something else? He's like, sure. So I pull out La Historia. I was like, hey, give this a try. And I was in the middle of explaining it. He goes to his phone, takes a picture, it scans it. Yeah, I got this app that tells you how it tastes. And I was like, well, I guess my job's done here. And he's like walking through the humidor. Oh, what's this? Yeah, I'll buy these.
Yeah, I don't know if that's cool or not.
I don't know, because it's a little bit insulting, but he didn't ask for my opinion. So I was like, well, he didn't really ask for it, so I can't be insulted.
Yeah, if he asked for it and then did that, it'd be a little dick. Well, this has like some hints of like cedar and sweet cream and that apple top. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
That's not what it says. Yeah. That would be a dick move.
Yeah.
Says right here, actually, there's absolutely no spice in that cigar. You just said it had a little spice. It has none. Zero. See that wheel right there?
Yeah.
See that little thing that ticks over near the spice thing?
Nothing.
Is it ticked over toward there?
Nothing.
Yeah. That's a little weird.
That's like now the modern equivalent of people that do a lot of research about cigars. It's like, there's this list I got online. These are the cigars I should get. I was like, what?
Based on what?
Yeah, based on what? Some random guy? I'm standing in front of you. You could ask me questions. This guy didn't ask you any questions.
Well, he's on the internet. He must know more than you.
Google God will tell me.
Yeah, that is a thing that people are into.
Yeah. Like,
And,
all right.
I know it gets a little. It's fucking the guy. I work with Leon, man. That guy's like, so he's like, he does it to be nice, but he's like really, like he embarrasses me sometimes, because like he's just kind of a casual smoker, and
he works there.
he works at Aloni, yeah.
Okay.
And so he's just like a casual smoker.
Yeah.
And so
So
like
plebe.
I'll talk cigars,
Uh-huh.
and then he's just like, he'll be recommending cigars to someone or something and talking cigars, and he'll be like, but I don't know anything like compared to David. It's like him and Kevin like know fucking like everything. And I'm like, no, not really. Like,
Yeah. Kevin
Kevin probably knows a lot more about cigars than I do,
and
Jeb knows a lot more than both of us. I would venture to guess. But he's just oh, I'm standing right there. He's just like, yeah, this guy, like, he knows fucking everything. He's like a cigar aficionado. He can tell you like all the way to like soil the fucking like cello, man. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like, don't hype me up, bro.
Farm to humidor, bro.
Yeah.
Farm to humidor. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, like soil the cello. That's not a thing as far as I'm aware, but it sounds good, right?
Yeah,
soil.
sounds like some sort of market speak.
Yeah, soil the cello. But like, yeah, he's always doing that. I'm like, and I feel like it'd be like if you went on a date with a chick and you'd be like, I'm so fucking great in bed. You have no idea how great in bed I am. I'm gonna tell you all night about how good I am in bed. And it's like, you better be really good in bed. You better be really good in bed, or
no. It'd be coming like bring a girl with you to a cigar shop, and guys like, dude, fucking Mikey fucks, dude. Mikey fucks so good, you don't even know. I heard some stories, dude. Dick game for days. You don't even understand. You better pack a lunch. You don't even know.
you just get up on it. You better just like this motherfucker. He's good. Like he busts through those Magnum condoms like it ain't something to do. Like he's got two big dicks. Like that diphallic dude, you know that dude on the internet?
Double dick dude.
Double dick dude. You know that guy? Base that guy on Mikey, man.
So that'd be more of an equivalent to that.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it's. He does it be nice, but it's like,
yeah,
man, I don't know what to tell you. I just tell you stuff that I like.
Yeah.
I like this. It's good for those reasons. But like, I can't tell you the maiden name of the guy's daughter that he blended it for or whatever. Like, I just pick up. That's trivia.
Lore.
Right. Yeah, it's lore.
Yeah.
And so, you do like a tobacco lore check, you know.
Oh, you failed your roll. I don't remember how this works.
I'm not even proficient in that. But like, yeah, like it's just some people just seem like they just like steep themselves in that like information, and like mostly because like if the cigar doesn't taste good, I don't give a fuck about what the story behind it is. Just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and if it does taste good, then it's just kind of like a
you're like, what's the deal with this?
Right? It's like, oh, that's interesting, but really affect it.
Well, footnote.
Yeah, it's a footnote. But anyway, so
I'm reading I'm listening to another book. It's pretty cool.
Did you finish Travels with in Search of America with Charlie?
In the middle of it still. Listening to A History of the World in 6 Drinks.
That's History of the World in
6 drinks.
In 6 drinks.
Can you name those 6 drinks?
I don't know. Like, it's not someone telling you while they have 6 drinks with the history of I'm on 4 now. We're gonna get to
the world's spinning right now. I can feel it.
Get to the Franco-Prussian War.
Important drinks in history.
Important drinks in history.
Yeah.
The Rob Roy.
No, not specifically those like types of drinks. I would say alcoholic drinks.
Oh, types of drinks, not cocktails.
Yeah.
Beer. Spirits. Soda. Or what do you call it?
Cola.
Cola. Yeah. That's 3.
Yeah.
There's 5 or 6? 6.
6. You're missing a big one.
I'm sure I am. What? Coffee? Tea? That's 5?
Yeah.
And
a big one.
Tomato juice, no?
V8.
V8.
Oh, you did get that right. What the hell?
I don't know. Water?
No, wine, man.
Oh, I guess that's not covered under spirits, is it?
Yeah.
It's like its own thing.
Yeah, its own thing.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. I got woke on the whole thing with rum being very important to the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know the how big of an impact that was.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in particular, say in the eve of the Revolutionary War, the question of the God, I always mess it up. Is it it's the Caribbean islands? Sugar producing islands are.
Caribbean islands.
I always want to call them the Caymans. Those are the ones where people do their banking, right?
They do that, and it's kind of in the same area.
It's
but
kind of in the same
area,
area, but that's not they didn't settle those for farming until later, I think, until the 1800s.
Yeah, I believe so.
So this was say 1750 to mid 1770s.
Mm-hmm.
There was this whole question about the sugar producing islands and whether to secure those or to whether to secure the fur trade in Canada. And there was basically two sides of the coin. One was the sugar producing islands are far more lucrative. So a presence there is important, but then also the presence in North America, in Canada in particular, the fur trade was important, not as important as the sugar trade, but a presence there would give the colonists security from the French. The line of thinking went that if we don't have a presence there and the French don't kill everyone, the colonists will realize that they do not need us to protect them from the French.
Yeah.
So we need to be there to basically tell them, no, you need us here to protect you from France, because France are crazy aggressive and will fucking kill the colonists when there was no evidence of that. But you make people feel that way. And so that question going one way or the other is pretty much what tipped, because I mean, that's exactly what happened is they opted for not to have a presence in Canada. And the colonists, after a decade or so, were like, maybe we don't need them to protect us from France. Maybe we can do our own thing over here.
Yeah.
And then like the guy that was like, shit, man, I fucking told these motherfuckers I know. So what I tell you is like, oh, he had to get... And that was a turn for Ben Franklin too, because up until he people kind of forget how loyal to the crown Ben Franklin was for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much right up until like a couple of 30 minutes before the revolution, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm totally, I don't know. He's like, that guy's pretty cool. I don't know that we should be going to war with him. And then Washington was like, all right, anybody who doesn't want to go to war with the king, we're gonna fucking execute it. Franklin was like,
I made the light bulb and a sex chair.
Anyway, so yeah, no, sugar, very important.
Yeah, sugar cane, and the byproduct of that is molasses. Well, the more important thing, the takeaway from that is like people like to party. So it's just like yeah, we could bring wine and it spoils. Beer, that spoils too, but there's rum shit. It gets you fucked up.
Fucked up.
And it was super cheap, and then you didn't have to get export to produce these things, because like places like Cayman Islands or certain parts of the U.S., you couldn't grow grain. But getting molasses was really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made it equivalent to like a day's pay. Could pay for a week's worth of rum.
Yeah.
And back in the day, and that much is like, damn, you get fucked up for days.
Not to mention too, it's the irony is that protectionist policies in the United States, because of the sugar producing islands, is the reason to this day that we use corn syrup and so much stuff. Because when we were sugar used to be made, or soda used to be made with sugar, like cane sugar. And that's where that comes from, is from the sugar producing islands. And so then like the American agricultural lobby got a hold of that, and they were like, no, we don't like that, and we're going to place this very, very like high tariff on importing that to make that expensive, and then we're going to subsidize heavily corn production to make corn syrup less expensive. And so lo and behold, all industries use that now, and now we shit all over all of them for using it all the time. It's like, it's so terrible. It's like, you fucking orchestrated this like geopolitical situation that ensured that they had to use it, and now you're like acting like they're trying to poison all of us by using it. It's like, do you have like no concept of like how things got to be where they are? Like,
it was almost the opposite. It was like the lead up to the revolution, where the U.S. or the British wanted to tax, or they taxed the French molasses so heavily that they're like, okay, now they can get from like British like sugarcane or molasses to use that stuff, but they didn't produce as much as the French did. And a lot of the tax collectors are like, that's kind of a bullshit law. I'm not going to collect anything. I'll just say you didn't make any rum at all.
I know, isn't that awesome? Like back in like colonial times, how people just would do that all the time. Like if they just
we're gonna tax you.
It's like they were just so far from like
what are
like
gonna
England.
do?
They would just be like all the time. They would just be like, yeah, I don't like that law. Fuck that shit. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And they had governors and like people that would like rule locally, and they'd be like, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Like whatever. Rebellions in there, the Whiskey Rebellion and all that, where they had to kind of put that shit down. But
after listening to some of the points of the taxation on whiskey, I was like, yeah, I'd be pissed too. Yeah, like the tax came from the stills, not at the point of sale. And we're like, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah, that's that whole Whiskey Rebellion thing is an interesting point in history too. Boys. Yeah, I mean that's like I
want to do some research on that one. That sounds like a fun little thing. Talking to Shane.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I'm
Shane
not as
Bailey. Oh, what are you gonna tax me, bro?
You
can't tax.
You owe him $1 now. But yeah, when the Whiskey Rebellion cigar came in, I read the Wikipedia stub about it. So I'm not confident that I'm terribly well versed. I didn't read like a book by some academic dude or listen to a TED talk about it or anything like that. I just kind of like read a Wikipedia stub. Yeah. So I'm not confident that information is 100% accurate. But the thing that I took away with it was an interesting confluence of events that led to like some seminal figures from the Revolutionary War being on like opposite sides of the fence, and like an insurrection that had to be like put down, which was a defining moment, I think, in Jefferson's presidency. Because I did read a little, Hitchens touches on it a little bit in that Author of America book, that biography of Jefferson that I read, which is really good if you ever want to read it. It's nice and short.
Okay.
It's like a few hundred pages, and he covers, he's a journalist, so he just kind of like cuts out all the extraneous shit and uses pithy language and doesn't.
The day of our Lord, 1785. Where's Martha?
No, I knew I wanted to read that book because he was like, I saw some interviews of him doing the book tour about it like years ago, and he was like, I think he was on the Daily Show actually. And he was like, oh, yes, I'm really interested in the Founding Fathers, and so I approach it from a unique perspective, which is that they had dicks.
They're very,
They just had dicks, that they were humans. They were people with flaws and like, and
they like all the Founding Fathers like to bang out, dude.
Yeah, but like, that's the perspective that he takes it, which is that like they're flawed, they're animals, they're humans, and they're not the like, you either get people in one camp who are like
they're like gods.
They're like gods, or they're like like these fucking like Ayn Randian fucking characters, or you get people who are basically like they're like slave owners and murderers and they're horrible men, and it's like they kind of still founded the country though, so like maybe
for white people,
right? You don't look a fucking gift horse in the mouth, ass white. But so like he's kind of like splits the baby there, like he obviously lauds and respects them, but because he looks at them as flawed humans and doesn't put them up, is guilty of hero worship from a guy who's like, basically a fucking like Ayn Rand character himself anyway, right? Like Hitch is a very larger than life kind of guy, and so that's really good perspective, and his prose is really good, and the things that he chooses to focus on are interesting. He gets on a few side notes here and there, but mostly it's a pretty concise book. So you could read most of the biographies that I read of people are pretty fucking long-winded. But yeah, that was pretty good.
What else I got? Bought Witcher 3 for the Switch. That one, I'm like an hour into that one. Yeah,
don't even want to play it. You just turn it on and listen to the soundtrack. Fuck yeah.
So far, there's a lot of like cutscenes in this fucking game. I'm like, is this the whole game? It's like Metal Gear Solid.
I was just gonna say, what is this Metal Gear Solid? Like Sons of Anarchy or whatever that is.
Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty. Yeah.
It's like fucking 45 minutes of cutscenes. Like, what is going on?
That game was fucking ridiculous. And it hit me when my brother was playing. My brother was always into like he really liked the Metal Gear games.
Yeah.
And I never really got into it, but he was usually big into Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And he got that one, And I remember literally, like, there was a cutscene that was, like, damn near 5 minutes long.
Uh-huh.
And then what happens is he's Snake on
Yeah.
the screen. He walks down a hallway and opens a door and goes in. There's, like, another 5-minute
Oh my
cutscene. I was like, are you
God.
fucking kidding me? Like, that is it? Like, why'd you even tease that you were going to give some gameplay?
It's like, all right, gonna get into this shit.
Yeah.
Bleep,
Nope.
bleep.
Nope.
Snake. Yeah. I guess Poe Dameron's gonna play Solid Snake.
Oscar Isaac?
Yeah.
They making another one of those movies?
What?
Another escape movie, or are they making a Metal Gear movie?
Metal Gear. Solid Snake.
Oh yeah, it's Snake Plissken, right?
Yeah, I guess he's based on Snake Plissken.
Yeah, this is somewhat the same character, supposedly.
Yeah, it's like inspired by Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they call him that again because he's like there's a copyright thing there, right? Or whatever,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I guess in the original Metal Gear game, he kind of looks like Snake Plissken.
Mm-hmm.
So, makes sense.
You just can't tell because it's fucking 8-bit graphics or whatever.
Well, the artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mullet, bandana. Mm-hmm. Just no eye patch. I guess Big Boss had an eye patch. But, yeah, whatever.
Snake doesn't have an eye patch?
Well, he does now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they basically, it's like that character. See, I don't know. I think it's too late. Because, like, Snake is, like, become, like, a parody of himself at this point. You know what I mean? Like, there's a character on, like, American Dad that's basically, like, Snake.
Mm.
And so now it's almost like
wait, Snake Plissken or Solid Snake?
Either of them. I mean,
Okay.
they're basically the same character,
yeah.
Right? So, I don't know that it had the same punch as if you, like, released it, like, 10 or 15 or 20 years ago.
Yeah, if it was, like, Sons of Liberty during that time, oh, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like...
Metal Gear Solid, that would have been the perfect time to have a movie like that.
Yeah, almost like I felt about it coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's just too late because all the things that the movie and the book or whatever have going on have just been like they're so aged at this point that they're just tropes now.
Yeah.
And you watch a movie like that the book came out before these things were all like things we were super familiar with. And now it's just like, it just seems like every other horror movie. It's like,
it's like that John Carter from Mars or whatever. Like,
a
lot of tropes are based on that story.
Yeah,
but...
John Carpenter, right? No, not John Carpenter. John Carter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's like a lot of tropes were taken from that story. And then now you see it's like, well, that's kind of, tired.
Yeah, because it's just like from the
but I made this up, bro.
It's like from the 20s or what, or 30s, right? So
yeah.
it's like, yeah, that guy was making stuff like at the same time that like H.P. Lovecraft and like Robert E. Howard were doing shit like pulp fiction kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like the other big name besides Lovecraft and Howard in that space. And I don't know his name, and I feel
what
bad.
What do you think
for
of
that.
with these blacks, Lovecraft?
And so it's like but like he's even less like that whatever that writer's name is even lesser known than like Robert E. Howard won that fucking bet between those three guys. Like, who could be the biggest? Like, or not Robert E. Howard, Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Just fucking took that shit down. Like that guy's. Everybody knows what Cthulhu is and all that shit.
You think because this is the rise of like game boards and steampunky stuff that came out of that, like this popularity rose?
I think it's just Cthulhu. Like he's basically like a Godzilla-like character. Right. So he's kind of got like this cool, and then that whole world is more kind of like gangsters. Like it's more like a James Cagney movie meets like the occult. And I think that aesthetic just resonates with people a little bit more than the whole like sword and sorcery and sci-fi fantasy kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do like the idea of like Into the Mouth of Madness. If you look at Cthulhu, you can't understand what the thing is. It's like beyond your comprehension. And he's just like very ancient and old. And it's like a cool backstory.
Yeah, I mean it comes up. I mean it's in D&D. I mean even Robert E. Howard uses some of that stuff in his Conan stories. There's some of that. Like
it was like the Tower story. There's like some sort of Lovecraft.
Tower of the Elephant. Yeah, there's like a Lovecraftian creature in there and a couple other ones too, where there's like these weird otherworldly kind of monsters or whatever that. But yeah, Lovecraft universe just has more I guess, soigné to it than the
Huh.
Howard universe does.
Huh.
So it's more of an approximation of a world we know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's certain things, like Untouchables plus occult stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just weird and cool. And so it's like, okay, it's something I can relate to.
Well, at that time it was modern too, I imagine.
Yeah.
Like now it's like, it's like old school kind of gumshoe.
And that's why I think it saw a resurgence, because at the time it was like modern, and then it went away for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really popular in the 50s and 60s, but then like the 70s came around, and it was like started to see a resurgence of that. And then because the people that were kids when it came out had grown up, and they started making games, and they started like writing other sort of like things that are like inspired by that shit. And so that makes it cool. But yeah, I don't know, the Lovecraft stuff is certainly something Lovecraftian. I mean, if you have a verb named after you, I feel like that's a pretty big that thing is, or not a verb, but adjective. Lovecraftian, right? It's Orwellian. There's no
Kafkaesque.
Yeah. There's no Robert E. Howard equivalent to that.
James Cameron. I don't know.
Cameron-esque. Cameron. I feel like.
Or you Michael Bay'd it.
Michael Bay. That's just like a dumpster fire, though.
Yeah.
I feel like fucking Wes Anderson is like this close to having a fucking adjective named after him.
Pretty close.
Pretty
close.
Andersonian. It's just gonna be a thing in film, like just overly mannered dialogue and fucking sets that look like dioramas and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because there's like a Spielberg feel to it or whatever. You could use that.
Yeah, but most people don't like. You wouldn't say it. You don't say Spielbergian. You would say like
Spielberg-esque.
I would just say it feels like an Amblin Entertainment movie.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's got his hand in so many things. Like the things that he produces don't have the same texture as all the things that he directs. And he's also,
Oh yeah.
Like there's, to me, like things that feel like a Spielberg movie are Amblin movies.
Yeah.
But then when you fast forward a little bit, like, well, Saving Private Ryan feels like a Spielberg movie too, but it just feels like a Spielberg era from like a different era.
It's like a DJ Premier song.
But like Wes Anderson shit, all is the same. Tim Burton shit, all the fucking same.
Yeah.
Like it all has that very specific texture to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tim Burton's another one. He could Burton-esque.
Yeah.
But like really, see, to me, it's like Tim Burton rips most of his aesthetic off from a writer called Edward Gorey. He's just kind of got like that real macabre, dark humor, and a lot of his aesthetic is from that, like that writer, and very obviously is a huge fan of him. I mean, he has his own style too, and he's been around a lot longer. So, but yeah, I mean, he's just like, he's evolved to the point where he looks like a Tim Burton character.
Yeah,
Tim Burton looks like a Tim Burton character.
I haven't seen a picture of him like in the last 15 years, but I imagine he kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the guy from The Cure. It's the
Robert
fatter version.
Smith, yeah.
It's like, bro, just cut your hair, man.
Yeah. No, he's not a fatter version. He's a thinner version of
Who?
Tim Burton.
No, I'm just saying that Robert Smith guy's like, like he has that.
Yeah, a lot fatter.
Yeah, it's like, bro, just chill.
It's like fucking Axl Rose.
Yeah.
God damn it, I can't even recognize him. It was such a shit show.
You have a picture of him.
I was like, who the fuck is that? I guess Axl Rose.
Who's this
like,
fat lady?
No shit. It does. It was like a fat woman.
Who's this Karen?
Yeah. He did. He looked like a fat lady that had too much like plastic surgery.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, it's really gruesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that new AC/DC album?
Well, you put on some of it here. We listened to about half of it, didn't we?
Pretty much all of it.
Really? It seemed like it was really short.
No, we were going for a long time.
Oh, I feel like you it seemed to me like you switched. We only listened to like 4 or 5 tracks.
No, we listened to pretty much every song except one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get a chance to like listen to it other than that. But like I was talking to my uncle about it. I'm like, did you know fucking AC/DC put out a new album? And he's like, what? He's like, did you listen to it? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, and because like anytime something comes back that you love, And it comes back, and you're always just kind of like got an eyebrow at it. Like, I don't know what this. That's kind of what he was like. No, it was pretty fucking good, dude.
Did he pull Mike Tyson or Roy Jones?
Exactly. And so that segued into a whole discussion about, strangely enough, 80s music. And how like 80s music doesn't get its due because like, you know, people think 80s music, you think The Cure or whatever, like, you know, Madonna and like most of that new wave stuff. But like the 1980s was like my decade for music. Like just wall to wall. There's like tons and tons and tons and tons of good music that came out. And he was like, we were just talking about it. He said, like, look at this, look at this. These are just the albums that came out just in 1986. Like, this is more good albums that came out in just 1986 that came out in like all of like 2000 to 2010. Like, it's like, and so especially like I think the early 80s in particular is a really good era because we were talking about AC/DC and we were talking about rock and roll, and I was like, yep, mid 60s to early 1980s is the best era for rock and roll, right? It's like one of the best eras for music, period.
Sure.
You know, that, and then like I would say the mid 90s to the early 2000s would probably be like, if you're into hip hop, that's probably like the era. That's a really good era for music if you're into hip hop. And then if you jump back to the late 20s to the mid 40s for like, but like, you know, those are fertile ground for music just of different genres. But for rock and roll, it's specifically the first era. And so it just segued into a whole damn kids nowadays kind of discussion about fucking call that music, hey, music, hey. Oh,
let's move on to our cigar of the week.
We have a cigar of the week this week?
No, we're not. We're just smoking different cigars.
Somebody, you know, I almost texted you yesterday, be like, get the grab bag.
I know. I need to put it in my car.
And I was gonna text you, but I was driving when I thought of it, and I was like, I shouldn't text and drive. Responsibility, people. And then whatever I got to my destination, there was like,
ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, there was, I don't know, pizza rolls, tits, or cigars or something there. And so I was like, ooh, whatever those things are. I fucking just forgot you existed for like a couple of hours.
Who?
I was like, oh, what, Mikey? Oh, yeah. But I don't know, you smoke anything in particular? You said those Noellas were smoking really good.
Noellas are smoking good right now. Smoking
Tat brown labels?
Yes, Tat brown labels are very good. Smoking the Jibaro. I smoked this on the podcast before, so
Yabaro or
Jibaro? Jibaro.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what Yabaro means, so I don't know, or Jibaro or whatever, so I don't know how to pronounce it.
If it's Spanish, probably Yabaro.
What does it mean though? Do you know?
I don't know.
Let's look it up. Anyway,
pretty good, solid cigar. It's, you know, it's like in the budget realm, especially out of California, I imagine, because this one was like what, $10 or $11 in California right now. So
yeah, it's weird because like that cigar is so good, I don't think of it as being like inexpensive because I never like look at the price. I'm like, oh, I like that. I'm gonna get that.
Yeah.
Word used in Puerto Rico to refer to countryside people who farm the land in a traditional way.
Puerto Rico.
Yabaro is a subsistence farmer and an iconic subsistence. That's the word. I'm looking at it, trying to like. That's not how you say it. Subsistence farmer and an iconic reflection of the Puerto Rican people.
Puerto Rico.
So it's yeah. There you go. That's what it is.
Cool.
So it's like self-sustained. So then if the crop on that cigar ever takes a shit, we can complain about it because it's not living up to its name. Like if a cigar was called the creme de la creme.
Yeah. Hey, no!
And then these are that good. I don't care.
Not that good, really.
I don't know. You smoke anything else good this week?
That's about nothing too new.
Well, nothing that's smoking particularly good.
Yeah, the Noellas was the standout for this week. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
I tried that new My Father Fonseca. That just
oh
came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, I almost forgot actually.
Yeah.
I was asking you, and then like when I like mentioned it, I was like, wow, I really set that up like I was trying to mention it. Like, what did you smoke? Oh yeah, like I got something, and then I remembered like. I was like, oh, I guess I set that up in the right way, but I didn't remember until like I was at the end of it.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty good because like Father Bob's like, do you guys have Fonseca here? Because that was really good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
it's definitely this. I don't know. This might be a knock against it, but it lacks that like pepin spice.
Ah, okay.
It doesn't have it.
Maybe he's blending for Fonseca. I don't. because I haven't had too many Fonsecas before, so I don't know.
People are crazy about them up at Aloni.
The regular Fonseca line.
Just anything Alan Fonseca blends.
Really?
They're just like, ooh, that's the new Fonseca blend.
Oh,
I'm like, so?
Yeah. To me, it's like an old man's brand. Fonseca. It's like Arturo Fuente. It's the old man's brand.
No, I think Fuente enjoys a loyal following for people of all age demographics. That's why they're such a big player.
I really don't see it that way. I always see it as like people that came into cigar smoking during the boom, like in the 90s, and that's like their go-to stick. Like their palates are usually geared towards more Dominican Honduran blends.
Before Nicaragua was the number one producer.
Yeah, but they're still on that bandwagon of, I like Arturo Fuente. This is what I smoke. I like that profile. Like, okay, it's cool.
Yeah, you can always tell if somebody like got into cigar smoking during that boom because they're like, all the best cigars come out of like all the best tobacco comes out of like the Dominican, and you're like,
it's like,
like, oh, like you haven't smoked a new cigar in like 15 years.
Yeah. What do you mean?
That's cool, bro. It's like, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in the Dominican. There's a lot of it, but also right before that happened, because there was like that boom and so much good stuff was coming out of Dominican. Because like if you take all that like Dominican stuff that was the heavy hitters during that boom, that is all good Dominican tobacco. It's all Davidoff, and as much as I'm not a big fan of it, LFD like have some craftsmanship. Avo, I thought Avo was Nicaraguan actually.
I think it might be Dominican. I gotta check.
They make some Nicaraguan cigars though, so maybe that's where the confusion is. But like and Fuente and like so like there's some good stuff.
Yeah.
But then also during the tail end of that, before Nicaragua started like becoming the juggernaut that it is, like a lot of other really crummy brands got in there. Yeah, like Caldwell and fucking
It's like, no, we don't want that shit, bro. Yeah.
And then poor little Honduras over there is like, what about us?
Shut up. Oh, they have really good rollers. That's about it.
This is a total side tangent. I got my my unbranded pants finally tailored. They're like, they fit now. Look, I don't have all that extra crotch anymore.
You had to bring that up or what?
Yeah, actually what she had to do is she had to take one of the buttons out. Because the crotch on it was just so long. She was like, I can't just bring the seam up because it's coming into the crotch. So what I have to do is take a button out and like that. So it was like $40 to get them fucking altered. But they fit now.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy. Because I like these pants, and it's hard for me to find pants I like apparently. So that's going to be my recommend this week is that company.
Unbranded. Yeah, I have their jeans.
Do you need them get tailored, or do you just need them hemmed?
I need to get them altered a little bit because it's too fucking wide.
Did you
they don't taper. They're just like straight leg. I was like, Jesus.
Did you do the same problem that I did, which was you went to get like one cut and they were sold out of it in your size, and then so you were like, man, I'll just try this other cut and maybe it'll be fine.
I wasn't too confident in like how like slim their slim cut is. I think I got a slim, but it was still pretty big.
These are well, actually these are relaxed, but they fit like slims.
Okay.
So they have skinny, slim, straight, and relaxed.
Yeah. There's no from what I could tell. There's no taper in the pant leg. It's just like straight leg. Oh,
but you got.
I don't know. I gotta look. It's been like a year and a half since I ordered them. So.
Yeah, because the tape. That's the one thing I will say though is like look when I sit there, look how far my pants come up. It's like it's a little much, but whatever. But yeah, it's I feel like I'm probably gonna go to them because I have a pair. I have one other pair of raw denim that are dark wash blue. So the reason I had to get the relaxed fit on these ones is because they sell one pair of black raw denim, and it's like they didn't have the fit that I wanted when I ordered these jeans, and I thought I'd just get them tailored, which is what I did, but that ended up being a much more expensive endeavor. I would have just preferred to get the right size to begin with, but like they have more than one for dark wash denim, but apparently black denim is like this the one thing. The raw black denim, that's it. Like black raw denim is incredibly fucking hard to find. I don't know why, but it's really, really fucking hard to find. especially for under $200 a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
It's fucking ludicrous.
I don't know why, because it seems like indigo is a more expensive dye to get, but it's probably the most popular color.
It's much more popular,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like if you get like a Japanese indigo, that's notch.
my old pair of black raw denim was Carabo Mills Japanese denim, and those pants were great, and they held up. I wore the fuck out of those pants for like 4 or 5 years, and they got a hole in them, and not in a place where you want to get a hole, like right in the fucking pee-pee. And so I was like, it's not good. Like, you know, a hole in the knee or down by the cuff or on the top of the leg.
Super cool.
I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not ideal, but you know, I don't want like something in my peep. So, but anyway, so my other pair of dark wash denim that I've had for fucking 7 years probably, and they still look great, but they're really broken in, and I'm feeling like any day now they're just gonna tear.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to get a new pair of raw denim once every 7 years. Not so bad.
Yeah.
So I'll probably buy from them, and especially because these are 14-ounce denim. The pants I have that are like on their last leg were 12-ounce, so like these should last even longer than those.
Yeah.
Because they're 14-ounce denim. I've been wearing the fuck out of these for 2 years, and they're still barely broken in. But yeah, from what I could tell, it's a good. Very particular with your fit and your size. You have to know your size. And like, cause I got the first pair I sent, and they sent them to me, and they said they were supposed to have a 30-inch waist, and I put them on, and I couldn't even button them. They were so fucking tight. I was like, there's no way this is a 30-inch waist. Or, yeah, it's a 30-inch waist. I'm like, no, it isn't. Unless every other jean company ever has lied to me about what my waist is. There's something wrong with these pants. And so, yeah. And especially because they do the weird thing. It's like, guess what? A 29? Not a 29 waist. You would think it would be, right?
Yeah.
Not. Well. Nope. They don't. It doesn't work like that. Like a 30 is like a 32, and like a 29 is like a 30, and a 28 is like a fucking 12 or something. It's fucking weird. Like, it's not like a 29 is a 29 waist. You would think that would be, especially because their pants don't have a length and width. Yeah. Because they're meant to just fucking, like, you just hem them. Yeah. Because they're raw denim. So they're just like, you would think 29 is a 29 waist, that you just hem them. But like, nope.
Yeah, it depends on the company too, because the way that it's cut, it's with a dye. Depending on where that stack of denim is, could vary like a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Yeah, from what I've read.
Yeah, but I mean, these pants are just like really. I mean, they have like button fly, like riveted, so they're like super. I get skeptical about fucking zippers because it's like if a zipper goes, and I'm fucking like, I like a button fly, like a nice durable one. I had a pair of pants where have you ever had a button on a button fly come off? No. I had that happen on a pair of pants I had. Like, seriously, I was like, how does that fucking happen?
It's the oldest technology ever. It's riveted on there.
It's like my belt pouch breaking or something. Like, seriously? What the hell? You guys haven't figured this out? But yeah, so that's good. Like, it's the riveting on the pockets, and the thing is strong. The denim is super like heavyweight, which is nice, but you just have to be particular about your fit. But and like they do the rope dye method too, I think, is why their shit is so expensive. So it takes a lot longer. But your jeans, the other pair I have too, is like the same thing. They like rope dye their denim, and it does wear in. Like, my jeans are broken in, like those dark wash I have are broken in, like
got the knees, the whiskers.
Yeah, and it's just they're super broken, comfortable, like fucking pajama pants. Yeah. But like the dark rinse is still there, and it's like, you know, weathered in like the places where you wear them, and it looks nicer. It looks more like not like some beat up piece of shit. Fucking Wrangler jeans.
I don't know if I told this question or the story on the podcast when Leonard Skinner was playing at the tobacco trade show. They had a show. And I guess this dude had his pants for so long, he had like his dick mark on his pants. Like, it's just like, here's my wang. He's like,
fucking nice. That sounds right. But yeah, so that's so I recommend that company. Anybody that's in the market for some jeans, they're not inexpensive. I mean, they're $80-$90 for a pair of jeans, but
yeah, getting a raw denim jean.
Yeah, I think. Like, okay, you gotta understand, like, my family in general, you pay that much for a pair of fucking jeans? It's the same thing down at fucking Kmart for fucking $25. Like,
yeah. No, wash them once, they get all fucked up.
No, you cannot. Yeah. Like, you can't. And don't get me wrong, like, Levi's still makes good jeans. Yeah. And, like, Levi's makes... People don't realize is, like, Levi's like basically invented jeans.
Yeah.
And they invented raw denim.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole 501, people are like, oh yeah, 501s. Like no one wears 501s anymore. 501s are raw denim jeans.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and you can still get them.
Shrink the Fits are raw denim too.
Those are 501s.
I thought it was another number.
No. The shrink to fits are 501s.
Okay.
But they just don't make them in black. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I've never seen them in black.
Uh-huh.
And they're shrink to fit. But like, if you get those 501s from Levi's,
Mm-hmm.
they're like $80.
Yeah.
They're like $70, $80.
Yeah.
Because they last like a fucking decade.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you wear them a lot. And so that's not that much when you consider it's basically $8 a year, give or take,
Yeah.
for fucking something you're gonna wear 100 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good investment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anyway.
All right. You got any recommendations for the week?
Yeah, that was it. That was my
Oh,
pants.
just jeans.
Pants.
Okay.
Buy from this company.
Uh-huh.
It's a good company. I want them to stay around.
Yeah.
So I feel like I had something else too. I watched a little bit more Raised by Wolves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're past me now. I'm on episode 4.
Oh, I think I just finished. Either finished 6 or other 8.
I don't know.
So I think I finished 6. I finished 6. So speaking of which, we should get back to Sopranos soon. We haven't watched this. It's been forever since we watched Sopranos.
No one likes us talking about it.
I know. Well, we don't have to talk about it, but we should watch it at least.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just have a small Soprano section, not like a whole.
I don't know. But
I don't know. Why don't you write us and tell us?
I don't know nobody.
I don't know anybody.
But no, anyway, so you haven't caught up on any of it?
No, not at all.
I don't think that I think that was like all I really watched this week. I don't think I watched fucking anything.
Yeah, I just caught up to Mandalorian.
I watched Needful Things last night.
Needful Things.
Yeah, it's a movie from the 90s based on a Stephen King book. And it's got Ed Harris and my boy Max von Sydow in it. So I was down to watch it because like anything with Max von Sydow, I'm like fucking into that dude.
Yeah.
And basically, it's a pretty good movie. It's like one of those. It's got like a supernatural twinge to it, but it's a little sleepier than some of them. It takes place in Castle Rock, and so it's one of those movies. But it kind of has a very you didn't see Dolores Claiborne, although I recommended that before. But it just kind of has like that New England small town vibe, Derry or whatever, and, in Stephen King books. And it's this guy, and he's a antique dealer, and he comes to town. He sets up, and everyone's kind of mysterious because no one knows he bought this building, and he's selling antiques. And so you get a little bit of the dynamic of the town, which feels a little bit like the early episodes of Twin Peaks a little bit, you're just kind of getting the daily life and the dynamics between all the characters. And then what happens is like you come in and you come into the antique shop, and inevitably there will be something that like an object that has some sort of strong resonance for you.
Monkey paw.
No. For instance, like one of the kids, he asks him, he's like, well, what is it you like? If you could have anything you wanted, what would you have? And he's like, Mickey Mantle, 1956. And he's like, well, that's no small feat. He's like, well, you said anything, right? He's like, me and my dad, when I was really young, when he was still around before he died, we used to collect baseball cards, and we had the whole top series of all of the Yankees, but we could never get Mickey Mantle. And he's like, so if I could have anything, it would be that. And so he's like, so I happen to have Mickey Mantle here, and it's signed to my dear friend Brian. Wow. And he's like, well, that's my name. He's like, so what would you pay for this card? And he's like, well, I only have it. He's like, never tell someone what you have. You undermine your negotiating power, right? He's like, let's just see what we can do. And so he's counting his money out. He's like, 95 cents. Okay. He's like, we'll call that half. Half of the payment. The other half will be a deed that you do for me, a favor. A prank of sorts. And so he does this with everyone in town. One lady has arthritis, and this thing that he gives her as his talisman gets rid of her arthritis. And this other lady collected Hummels, and her husband was abusive. And scuttlebutt around the town is that she murdered him, but he broke this like rare and valuable sentimental Hummel for her, and he happens to have like the exact one. And he just has like whatever you need, right? Whatever you want. But in exchange for it, he asks you to do these things that like pit all the people in town against one another, right? So he's just like stirring up trouble, right? And it all just comes to a head, right? Where, you know, everybody is like, it just escalates and escalates and escalates till like people are like murdering each other and shit because of these things that like, you know, there's this one lady who hates this other lady and she threatens to kill her dog, and then, you know, then he gets some other guy to go throw turkey shit all over her laundry, and so naturally she thinks it's the lady that she threatened, and so she goes to threaten her, and meanwhile someone else like skins her dog alive, and so she thinks that lady skinned her dog alive, and so then they end up like fighting to the death with like knives and shit. And so like it just gets like really intense really quick, right? So it's this whole like, you know, he's the devil basically, and he's sowing chaos, and Ed Harris's character is like figuring him out and all this stuff, and it's like a solid C. It's like a good movie. It's an interesting concept, and it's pretty well executed. Ed Harris is pretty good, and a couple of the secondary characters are pretty good. And Max von Sydow is like Max von Sydow.
Okay,
so he's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. What? Other than that, I don't think I really watched much this week. A couple episodes of Raised by Wolves. You catching up on Mando, I guess.
Mando. Pretty good.
Yeah. Well, you know. Well, it sounds like you're reading though. That's good.
Yeah.
Reading more than watching, listening. Pouring stuff into your brain.
Yeah, always do that.
And what's your recommends for this week?
Recommends? Oh no, Wiener Schnitzel. That's my recommend.
The schnitz.
Yeah, the medicine I need.
I know.
Heard when you said, like, I do need some Wiener Schnitzel in my body.
And the thing, you know what's fucked up about it is it's like with you and Chris, both of the time, like there's always like this weird like Mexican standoff where it's like, I could always go for Wiener Schnitzel, and then I feel like if I just like suggest it too many times, like, you guys are gonna be like Wiener Schnitzel like 2 nights ago, and like 4 times this week. But I'm like always down for it. Yeah, I'm always like, oh, eat some schnitz again. Like Diana doesn't really like it. Like she likes it when she's drunk. But like she doesn't really like Wiener Schnitzel.
Well, he never grew up with it. Like going like middle school, like let's go to Wiener Schnitzel.
I didn't grow up with it either.
Oh, really? Okay.
I never fucking had Wiener Schnitzel until I moved to California.
Oh, really?
They don't have them in the Midwest.
Oh, I thought it was like all over the place.
I mean, maybe they have them in different towns. They didn't have one in my town.
Oh, okay.
We had like, we have this place called it's an approximation of this place that we had in Kalamazoo called the Root Beer Stand.
Okay.
And they have that same like cheese sauce, like cheap hot dog with like the strangely soft bun that, you know, the bun is old but it's still super soft.
Yeah.
And then that like ketchup-y tangy chili sauce.
Yeah.
And then the only difference is the hot dogs taste about like the Wiener Schnitzel, and then they make this house-made root beer, which fucking dunks all over any root beer I've ever had. It doesn't even really taste like root beer, but it's super delicious. And so it's like I used to go there all the time, and so it scratches that same itch, same thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't have,
get like super woke, like Wiener. What the fuck is this?
No, because I was like, man, how come places don't fucking have hot dogs? Like you can't get a fucking hot dog anywhere. Like just, and someone was like, oh, like this place is like, yeah, it's like a gourmet hot dog. I don't want a fucking gourmet. I want like a fucking, you know, tangy ketchup chili sauce, like shitty hot dog.
I got the medicine you need.
Exactly. Yeah. And then someone was like, well, you don't eat a Wiener Schnitzel? And I'm like, what is that? And it was like a hot dog place. It's kind of shitty, but it's really. Ate it. I was like, this isn't shit. This is fucking awesome. What are you talking about? I was like, I know I don't want to say nothing, but like, it's really good. It's like, okay. Because it's like one of those things, I think. Wiener Schnitzel is one of those things like White Castle. You know how people love White Castle?
Yeah.
But they'll be like, it's fine. And then if you're like, dude, I love White Castle, they'll be like, I fucking love White Castle too. But I'm one of the people that's like, no, it tastes like hot garbage. Yeah. Like, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. The only reason why I know anything about White Castle is the Helen Coon. I know about it.
Yeah, I have them in Michigan all over the place.
Yeah.
I told you about that story at my my wedding, the night before my wedding, didn't I?
Oh yeah, I saw a whole bunch of them.
My buddy was like, here man, just go get some food. Whatever's open, just go get anything. Yeah. Right. Hey, I got food. And everyone was like, yeah. And he was like, I got White Castle. I'm like, oh. He's like, what? You don't like White Castle? I never had it. And everyone's like, dude, it's really bad.
Yeah, because you get the opposite reaction if you had like Wiener Schnitzel. Like, I got Wiener Schnitzel!
Yeah, that was the thing. Is like, you could be like, hey, are you hungry? You're like, nah. They're like, well, I brought Wiener Schnitzel. But like, oh, yeah, I might have a dog.
Yeah, because it's enough, right? Just to satisfy it.
Yeah.
Like, one dog is good enough. You're like, that's fine. Or I can have 2 or 3 if I wanted to.
Yeah.
It'd be okay.
I never had the chili cheese fries till last night.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's the right combination of like that type of fry and then the, the cheese and the chili. It's like, yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, it's not like, it's not too aggro on the fucking teeth.
Yeah.
Right? It's not, none of it's too aggro.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem with it. Is that it's just open field.
Yeah.
Like you can eat Wiener Schnitzel fast. Like
Yeah.
especially
Yeah,
if you don't get corn dogs, like, you can just get dogs and fries. Like you can just fucking inhale that shit.
Like the stick like stops you from inhaling the fucking corn dog.
Well, yeah, at least the corn dog is like got some crunch to it. You
Yeah.
kind of slows you down a little bit, but the dog just like yum.
Yeah. Well, that's my recommendation.
Yeah.
Find out your local parking lot somewhere.
Parking lot.
Right.
Yeah, I hope that place doesn't go out of business, man.
I don't think so. It's pretty popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I've never been into a Wiener Schnitzel, strangely enough.
Nothing to write home about.
I wouldn't imagine, but it's just weird that like a place that I've eaten at so much and I really like, I don't even know what the inside of that place looks like.
Yeah, it has like a ketchup and mustard kind of decor to it.
Yeah, I feel like if you
I like their mascot. It's a hot dog. It's like, hey. He wears a cowboy hat sometimes.
Yeah, what was there was like some sort of like punny thing on their fucking like the little hot dog guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but
They used to make the antenna guy, and it's like him like holding on to the antenna. He's like, like this. That's pretty dope.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Man, that'd be a good Did You Know segment. What's his fucking Wiener Schnitzel hot dog mascot guy?
Yeah. He's like advocating genocide for his people. Why don't you eat me? Eat me. Just eat me. Put me in your mouth. Just eat me.
Are you full of blood or pee?
Yeah.
What? The stuff inside you, is it blood or pee? It's Kool-Aid. Yeah, I know, but it's like, is it your blood or is it your pee? Oh, I see what you're doing there. It's my blood. Thank you.
That was the best. Put it up.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Because weren't we having the same discussion one day?
Yeah, what is Kool-Aid, man? Is he the liquid or is he the glass? So if you guys know, if you have any ideas which one is Kool-Aid, I think he's the liquid.
But, like, he's both. It's like, are you your blood or your flesh?
Yeah, but I think the glass is more of like a mech suit for him, right? If you pour him in the glass, he's Kool-Aid man in the glass. If you just remove the Kool-Aid from him, he's just glass.
Well, I mean, the fact that the face seems to be on the Kool-Aid seems to jibe with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because there's some evidence to suggest that the face is suspended in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It's not, like, painted on the thing.
Yeah. I've seen, like, 3D renderings of them. It's like the condensation is made into a face.
That's the... That used to be on old Kool-Aid commercials and Kool-Aid ads.
Oh, okay.
Where it was like they would have like a picture
right.
and there'd be condensation and they would draw a little Kool-Aid man face. But that's not the Kool-Aid man. That's an avatar of the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
So it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the evidence suggests that he is sentient Kool-Aid in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know why he wants you, like, he's like pours you some of himself.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
like, it's really weird. You're like,
It's the blood of Christ. Take me your buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Is he still their mascot?
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't really drink Kool-Aid anymore. They don't have commercials on TV anymore.
Well, you don't watch children's television anymore.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
but-
so still the guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't
That's
be.
gotta be. How long has Kool-Aid been around?
I don't know. It's been a long time.
So he's like, gotta be one of the longest standing mascots. Him and the Little Caesar.
Tony the Tiger's been around since the 70s or 60s or something like that, right? Twinkie dude.
Yeah, well, the Twinkie guy has a name too. I forget what his name is.
I don't know. He's a cowboy too.
Yes, he is. But Twinkie guy's not that old though, not comparatively. Because Twinkies were around for a long time before they had the mascot.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony the Tiger, yeah, he's been around.
Snap Crackle Pop, been around for a while too.
Yeah. Yeah, Snap Crackle Pop is probably pretty
really
fucking old. It's
Yeah.
like the 50s or something, I think.
Yeah.
It was back before cereals were even like sugary.
Like, yeah, it's true, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the oldest, I think. But yeah. Pizza guy's been around a long. Yeah.
The Little Caesar.
The Little Caesar.
Yeah. Pizza.
Yeah. He outlived the Noid.
Yeah.
It was was that Domino's or Pizza Hut? It was Domino's.
Yeah.
Because there was
There's a story. The reason why they got rid of the Noid is some guy had like schizophrenia and his last name was Noid. It's like avoid the Noid. It's like they're fucking after me, and he shot up a pizza place.
Damn.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, because there was a whole like plague of fucking mascots in the 90s when we were kids.
Oh,
like
yeah.
everything. Fido Dido, remember
Yeah, yeah.
him? And fucking.
What the fuck happened to that dude?
That was the Sprite mascot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then there was the Spot, 7-Up Spot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was that guy, and then the Noid was popular. And then
Spuds McKenzie.
Spuds McKenzie is like a beer mascot.
Yeah.
A fucking beer mascot.
Why would you need a beer mascot?
I don't know. And then there was the Budweiser Frogs
Yeah.
for a minute, but those
Energizer Bunny.
Energizer Bunny, yeah, it was like just a plague of them.
Yeah, everything had a mascot.
Gotta have a mascot, man.
Yeah.
Fucking weird, some sort of weird animal or mythological monster thing.
I wonder if like Apple kind of took that away. It was like we just have an icon, just an idea, a phrase, and that's what you have to. That's all you need.
Well, it's a different kind of commercial product too, right?
Yeah.
Like, these are consumer sales, consumable products, mostly sodas and pizza and snacks and shit. And so,
Well, they're still selling a lifestyle, like Mountain Dew, especially. It's like extreme gamer, yeah.
yeah, they never had a mascot, and it seems like their brand lends themselves to a mascot much easier.
I don't know. Whenever I think of Mountain Dew, I think of Master Chief. I don't know why.
You think of what?
Master Chief.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Just gamers like they play Halo and they drink Mountain Dew.
I don't know what Master Chief is.
From Halo?
I don't know.
He's the guy. Master Chief.
Oh, like the guy you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's Master Chief.
I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah.
I didn't know he even had a
Hey,
name.
Chief.
Yeah, because they did kind of
It's
tag.
like- It's just me and Mr. Halo hanging out.
Well, they had a whole Warcraft tie-in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like, and because they had two types. They had the Orc soda
Uh-huh.
and then Dark Elf soda.
Uh-huh.
And I remember that those sodas came out like when I was playing D&D, like when I lived in Kalamazoo.
Uh-huh.
And the fucking Orc soda was pretty good. Like the Orc Mountain Dew.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it was, but it was just like some weird fucking like high octane Mountain Dew. It was pretty good.
Octocooler?
Ecto Cooler?
Ectocooler.
That's a drink box though.
Yeah, but it's like High C Slimer branded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember if it was any good.
It tasted like High C, except it was green.
It wasn't like its own flavor?
I don't know. It's like Capri Suns. All Capri Suns taste the same.
Yeah, Capri Suns do all taste the same.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's tropical. Oh, it's... It all tastes the same.
I really like the one that's not that other one.
Yeah.
Turn it over and put the straw on the bottom because
Hey,
I'm cool. I'm an edgelord.
Yeah. Well, you my hot Cheetos.
Yeah. To be fair though, that is the easier way to get at Capri Sun.
Yeah, I always did it that way.
Because it's like you can just trying to put it in a little thing, it can go awry very easily.
And then someone's like, well, you can't like stand it up by yourself. Like, there's not enough liquid to do that. It's
It's
like,
like-
oh, I'm getting kind of full. I should put this down.
Yeah, we're supposed to sit down. It's like
Yeah.
fucking 4 ounces of fluid. Yeah. Power gel.
Food. Gamer Grub, that's what it was. It was a gel.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, and then Gatorade made the little like gel
Yeah,
bites.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, what
Yeah,
the fuck
I don't
is-
know what that
What
is.
is this?
It activated your saliva glands.
It's something that's it's nasty, so it must be like good for you. Is that it's
I
like
guess. It's medicine.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, yeah, there was a whole bunch of mascots. I forgot about the Energizer Bunny. I feel like there was another one too.
I think it's a. I don't know. Can't think of any really.
I feel like there was like other cereal mascots that came out.
Toucan Sam, Lucky Charms, Lucky Luck from Lucky Charms.
Yeah, all
Tricks
the
the Rabbit.
Tricks the Rabbit, yep. Yeah, they all had like one.
Yeah.
Like it was like wow, it's like all the honey Honey
honey
Nut
bee.
Cheerio,
Yeah.
Honey Nut Cheerio bee.
Yeah.
It's like God, like every fucking cereal like that was fairly new when we were kids.
Except Kix. because no one ate kicks.
What was with that? They were like multicolored, but they weren't flavored.
Yeah.
Or no, they're not multicolored.
No, they're just all single balls of corn.
Yeah. And they tried to have like the whole campaign about like kids love kicks, and we were just like, no, we do not. We do not like that shit.
Yeah, even like cornflakes has a mascot.
Chicken.
Yeah, the rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they try to like make him do cool stuff. It's like it's a fucking rooster.
Yeah. It's a pretty good mascot.
Yeah.
Doesn't do much, but
well, it's better than like Raisin Bran. I'm a son.
2 scoops of raisins.
I'll blind you if you look into me.
Crazy, weird, fucking sentient son, like that evil guy in Mario 3.
Who's the guy who's like talking about, or not, Bullet Bill's like, gotta make him smaller. He just jumps over him.
Yeah. But the thing I like about the sun in Mario 3 is that he's wearing sunglasses.
Oh,
it's
right.
like, why would he need them?
He's too cool for school, bro.
Yeah. I always remember thinking that like My Pet Monster basically seemed like he was just some sort of like mascot for like a candy or something, but never really was.
Yeah, he's a brand to himself.
Yeah, but like, what what I never understood, and I can't really decipher whether it's so. Was the cartoon My Pet Monster presumably was a marketing ploy to sell more My Pet Monsters?
Mm-hmm.
Not the other way around.
Yes.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Because I had one, and everybody I know had one.
Yeah.
A My Pet Monster.
Yeah.
Like,
My Pet Monster, Teddy Ruxpin.
I never had a Teddy Ruxpin.
Ruxpin.
Yeah, I never had one of those.
He-Man.
Yeah, He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, My Pet Monsters were fucking cool, because, like, I got one. It was, like, a fucking damn near as big as I was.
Yeah.
And especially after you had it for, I don't know, maybe you had responsible parents that like would, I don't know, wash or dry clean your My Pet Monster.
Sometimes.
But like mine never got that.
It's all grody.
So I just took it everywhere and like, and it's got corduroy and like faux like vinyl hands and like, you know, plastic fucking pickle nose and like plastic teeth, and it's like jam packed full of stuffing, and it just picks up filth, so it just like doubles in weight like in the first like year you have it. So it was like, I remember it was like a thing like when I was a kid. If you wanted to like fuck somebody up, like you were being a jerk or something, you just throw My Pet Monster at them. Just like knock, it's like a medicine ball. And just like woof. It's like, because it just picked up so much like filth from just like, and I don't think they thought that through. Like when they were like, oh, this will absorb filth. Because it had like the, you know, this really shaggy fur that like wasn't really like easily, you know, cleanable. You'd have to like, I don't even know how you're supposed to clean that. You'd have to, it seems like you'd have to wash it in the bathtub or something.
I don't know. Yeah.
And then like let it dry for like a year. But like I had one, there was another one, they released the second one, and there was like an orange one.
I don't know.
There was 2 My Pet Monsters.
my cousins always had it. I never had one.
You never had one?
No.
Oh man, that's a, why did you never get, you didn't want one?
I don't know why.
And they had the little, he had the handcuffs that you could break.
Yeah.
You could wear them.
Yeah. I'm super strong.
Yeah. Fucking dope as fuck. But the cartoon was stupid. Because it was all like cutesy and like adorable and like in my, like this thing, like.
Did they have a live action movie too at one point?
I think you're thinking of that Fred Savage movie, Little Monsters.
Yeah. I am thinking about that.
Yeah. Because the monster looked kind of similar, but he was like.
A humanoid.
Yeah, it was different. But like, yeah, I remember like the cartoon, he was all like, he was all cutesy and it was all like, and I was like looking at it, it's like, this thing is like menacing looking for a fucking like kid's toy.
Yeah.
It was like, his bloodshot eyes and he's like sharp teeth that looked like they had like blood or something on. They're all yellowed. And he's this big pickle nose. He's just like, he just looks savage, right?
Yeah.
And I was into it. I was like 8. And then like the cartoon's like, and I'm like, this is stupid. Like, and I, you know.
It's like Mad Balls. They look really like edgelordy.
Yeah.
Deal with these
Wasn't there a
things.
cartoon of that too?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember digging those things.
Yeah.
And what the hell were those little things? Muscle Men? You ever heard of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, those little guys that were like different, like they were like all like Crayola colors, you know, just like bright colors.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like I had a whole bunch of those too. But yeah, the Mad Balls, I forgot about those, and like pop their heads off. They were all like mad scientisty looking. Those things were cool. I don't know what the purpose of them was. You just pop their heads off and they fly off, and they're like, yeah,
About it.
cool.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of weird toys like that when we were kids that didn't really. It was like their aesthetic was cool, but then their like actual entertainment value wasn't really all that fun. Like, it's like whatever, get bored with it really quickly.
Yeah, like trying to think of like Battle Blades. You play it like for 5 minutes. Like, what's
I don't remember Battle Blades.
They're like these spinning little tops that has like this little arena, and you go shoot the little tops at each other, and they're just getting first one out.
It's kind of like Crossfire, but like different.
Yeah, Crossfire is like, you know, with it's the
ball peens, yeah, or
the ball bearings with the guns, little shooting guns, and then
yeah,
it's like reverse Hungry Hippos.
Yeah.
You'll get caught up in the crossfire.
Did you ever have Weapons and Warriors?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, Weapons and Warriors was pretty cool. Oh, and speaking of things that were like edgelordy too, did you ever collect the Rat Fink fucking?
No, what is that?
Rat Fink? Oh man. Oh, you know it. Like if you just like Google it, like it's like a thing on like hot rods and stuff. And then so it was like this green rat, and he was like a little figurine.
Yes,
he would come in a car.
Yes.
And you could, and there was a whole series of them, right? And I had a whole bunch of them because I thought they were fucking super cool. I was really into that, but yeah, no, Weapons and Warriors was like a game. I don't know really what you call it. But it was basically like a siege game where like one person played like the sieger. And the other person played the CG. And so you had like, you would set these castles, like this castle up, and like you'd have like these little like rubber band mechanisms where you had these plates, and it would hook to this like trigger on the front, and you would set all your men up. Boop, 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 boop,
oh,
boop.
yes.
And then like the other person over there would have like a similar setup, but not as good defensively, but he had better offensive weapons. And then you have a catapult and a cannon, and you'd have to like fire at take turns firing at the other dudes.
Yeah.
And do, and then like if you could.
There's a guy on a gun, right? Or something.
There was guys on all the little things, and if you hit one of the spots, it would pop the guy off.
Yeah.
And he kill all the other guys' dudes. It was basically like a more sophisticated version of that game you'd play with marbles and army men on the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
It was like a better version of that, and I had it like when I was a kid and played it all the time. It was fucking super awesome. It was just a pain to set up, you know, because you had to like rig the rubber bands correctly and everything, and it was kind of...
It's like playing the game of Mousetrap.
Yeah.
Like, no one really played the game. They just kind of just set the thing off. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, because a Rube Goldberg device, right?
Yeah.
So it's just... But yeah, and I had parents that were like, you know, cool parents would be like, hey, I got you this thing, and I'll set it up for you, and you guys can play. And that's not how my parents were. My dad was like, hey, I got you Weapons and Warriors, and I was like, awesome. He's like, well, figure it out.
See ya.
And I was like, okay, cool. And, you know, to be fair, I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something. So
you
like,
could do it.
Yeah, I could do it, and I did do it, you know, and I figured it out. But yeah, it was just a pain, like, the first, like, time to set it up. They're like... You know, you didn't want to like break everything down because I was just set it up again. So you just like put it, like shuffle it over somewhere. So
put it in the corner.
It's like, oh, it's over here. So next time we want to play it. And I think the only reason we stopped playing is eventually we lost all the little plastic balls that were ammunition. And so like, we just like couldn't play anymore because we didn't have any ammunition for the whatever. But yeah, like I got really good at that game. Because like the catapult really sucked. The cannon was fucking awesome. The cannon would like because like the defenders got like twice as many guys, but they got the catapult and their defenses were better. They were hit the little switch that popped the guy up. Sometimes you'd hit it and you think you hit it dead on and a guy wouldn't budge. You'd be like, fuck. But yeah, the other guys are just like out in the open and all you gotta do is just, you know, hit them. But the catapult, you know, it's got like a
arc,
a parabola, right, an arc. And so, but the cannon was just like straight. Like you just put the ball in there and just pull it back. It just blow shit up. It's like, but like, yeah, I played on defense enough because my little brother was like, I want to be the guy with the cannon. Just got really good. I got a light touch on that catapult. Get that trajectory. Get all good at geometry all of a sudden and shit.
I'm a genius. Yeah. All right. That's pretty good. Yeah. Well, if you guys think about stuff from the 80s, if you're born around the 80s and 90s, tell us your favorite cool toys.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of cool toys. Yeah, a lot of cool toys.
Dangerous toys.
Yeah. Hey, Weapons and Warriors wasn't dangerous. Did you have any dangerous toys when you were a kid? I mean, you don't have like original release lawn darts. Did I ever tell you that my ex had like her dad, or no, her and her ex-boyfriend went to a garage sale and they found original like set of lawn darts for like $4 or something, right? They're like all perfectly whatever. And like we're looking through the instructions, okay? So these things are fucking like this big and they're like metal. They look like tent stakes or something.
Yeah.
And they have little tassels on the back or whatever. So it's just that and like this little like plastic ring. And like it's showing you how to do it. And it's literally like the instructions are like you stand near that circle and those kids like throw the whole thing. And in the instructions, it encourages you to taunt your opponent while you stand like 30 feet away and he launches metal shards through the air at you.
Oh, that's
like,
a good idea.
That's a fucking dangerous toy.
Yeah. It's no horseshoe, but it's kind of cool.
Who's that comedian that says there's only 2 ways for horseshoes to end? 1, this is boring, let's do something else.
Yeah.
And 2, you fucking hit me with a horseshoe. It's like, yeah. That's because you don't have a white trash family. I remember I went over to my aunt. Her boyfriend has a horseshoe pit in his backyard. And it's more popular in the Midwest. People just have horseshoe pits. So he has a horseshoe pit in his backyard. And my dad, my cousin, my brother were like, you want to play some horseshoes? Yeah, sure, why not? Right? So we're playing, and these dudes are fucking like hitting ringers, man. Like, yeah, they're just like, you know, it's like wing, 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 and they're just like, I'm like not even coming close.
Yeah.
And they're just like, these fuckers just play this shit all the time, dude. They're hitting like every 5th or 6th one is like a fucking ringer, and, you know, because you don't play horseshoes, right?
I know there's like different points for like the ringer is like the highest one if it gets like on it but falls close to it or something like that.
Yeah, so a ringer is 3 points. If it's leaning the post, it's 2 points, and then if it's within one horseshoe's length, it's 1 point.
Okay.
Right, and then you play to like 12 points or something like that, right? And like, yeah, these dudes are fucking getting ringers and like leaners, ringers, and I forget what the third one is called, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I was just like getting home. I was like, and I'm like dead weight. You know, playing with my cousin. He's like, fuck, I don't know how to fucking play this shit.
Yeah,
like, fucking hurling horseshoes, this fucking like 3-pound metal thing, like 50 feet. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, but like, yeah, like some people are good at it. I guess it's like kind of a useless talent, but whatever.
People are really good at beer pong or.
Yeah, like the pussy
cornhole.
The pussy equivalent is cornhole.
Yeah.
It's like the pussy fucking California horseshoe. It's like cornhole. Like little beanbags and a fucking wooden thing. It's like,
well, I think because it's like portable, that's why people like it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But it's not as dangerous, so therefore not as fun.
Yeah.
Well, and not to mention too, is it's something like, so my dad is fucking strong as shit, right? He's an old man strength, right? So he's like, he can whip a horseshoe like fucking 200 feet or something like that. Like, you can't, like a beanbag, you know, you see these, you know, fucking soy hole. Like, I can't throw a horseshoe more than 10 feet, I'm sure. So it's like, you gotta have something it's environmentally friendly fucking soybeans.
There's soybeans in these, man. It's made out of hemp and soybeans, bro.
They probably are. It's some sort of environmentally sustainable wood or something.
You don't even have to pick it up. It just disintegrates. It's biodegradable.
If you just ask it really nice, it'll fall in the cornhole. Yeah, whatever. I mean, cornhole is fun and everything, but it's like, yeah, this is pussy horseshoes.
It's fine. All right. I think that does it for this week.
Sure, yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
Try not to be not bad.
Oh, you got anything to pimp this week? Any articles you wrote that the people might want to read?
No, I wrote that. I did I finish that last week? No, maybe not. I don't know. I wrote this article about gaming and D&D and Metro, so check it out on your local newsstand. It's free, Metro, or you can find it on not Silicon Valley Voice. That's the other place I write for.
Metro Active?
No, it's Inside San Jose.
Inside San Jose.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, there's an article in there, and
might find a cool picture someone took.
Might find a cool picture that Mikey took. Yeah. The game that we've been playtesting in it, and I think your buddy is the only your roommate, landlord, whatever.
Yeah.
He's the only person I know that's read it so far.
Oh, really?
Like all the sources like asked me like, hey, can I get a copy of the article? And I sent it to all the sources, and then like I told other people about it. or whatever, because they asked like, "Hey, how's the article coming?" Like, "Oh, I finished it." It's like, but well, I think he's the only person that's read it, at least that I know.
I read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't give me any thoughts on it, so I assume that.
Well,
means
this is the first time I saw you since I read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think?
Fake news. The guy's not from San.
I apologize to him for that, by the way.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I don't care."
Yeah.
Fine.
Just got my picture.
Look at my picture in the paper.
Yeah.
Got an article. Spelled his name right at least and got his age right, so that's more important.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So yeah, but I'm fucking kicking myself for that too, because it was like 3 a.m. I was just getting ready to submit the article. And I was like, I'm not sure if Mikey said it was in Santa Claus. 50-50.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that'll be fine. Mm-hmm. It's like that happens. You have no idea how much that happens. Where it's like, if I'm not 100% certain of something, my instinct is to check it.
Yeah.
And almost every single time I don't check something that I'm not 100% certain of, it's wrong.
Yeah. Bad intuition.
It really irks me. Especially when I think the article turned out fairly well otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, especially because I don't write stuff like that often. And so it came out pretty good, all things considered. And I just got this glare.
Got upgraded to a news story.
Yeah, I got upgraded from an A&E story to a news story. Prime real estate in the very, very thin metro now.
You can't really write much. Oh, you still home? You're still broke?
I don't think it's that. I think it's just that, like, they're not selling as much advertising.
Yeah, there's no events happening.
Yeah, so, there's just, I think there's more content online. But no, it's, I don't know. I have a toward seeing my byline in print as opposed to online. Like, it's just, I don't know, something about it does it for me a little more than seeing it on the internet. Like, when I write for Spotlight, it's just like all internet. Yeah. It just seems more...
There's more prestige in print.
I don't know if it's prestige. It just feels more permanent, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not as consumable. You just consume it and gobble it up and it's
Was there microfiche or whatever it's called in the library? It's like...
well, microfilm is a microfiche is basically like the overhead projector stuff that your schools used to have. If anyone's old enough to remember that.
Yeah.
When you had like an overhead projector, it's like a big film. That's a microfiche.
Okay.
Microfilm is the little like negatives on a whatever, but yeah.
Like 50 years from now, some guy's gonna be in the library.
Hey man, I used to maybe this shows how old I am or how dated Iowa is, one or the other, but like I have like on several occasions like actually
really?
With the microfilm, finding newspaper archives because not all places have digitized all of their archives. Especially because as we're learning now, it's actually not that wise to do that. Microfilm holds up better over time. It doesn't degrade as quickly as like a digital record of something does. Like a digital newspaper article will degrade at a faster rate than microfilm will. Microfilm if the temperature and humidity is kept constant, it will keep for like we had stuff from like 100 years ago or something. Oh, okay. It's a fucking like long time and it's still perfectly readable. But yeah, you just okay, here we go. Nope.
It's like those movie scenes where like the reporter is doing like investigation. It's like the screen's like back into their face. Like, there it is.
I actually am quicker at like finding stuff on like a microfilm scroll like that than I am on like any sort of digital database because there's less to it. It's just scroll until you find the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no way for it to you don't like overcomplicate. You just accept that you can't like type something into a search engine. Yeah. And like there's a keyword search or whatever. I have filtering by and like a filter by this and it's like organized by date. It's like you just accept that like I can't do any of that. So you just get kind of good at like I know this is the date that I'm looking for and you're just kind of and you're like nope, still about 3 months off. Okay. And you're like okay, now we're getting closer. All right, here's the year I'm looking for. Okay, all right, there's a month I'm looking for. All right, here's a week I'm looking for. All right, here we go. I know what this is. It was page 4. All right, I got it. It's like I'm just much quicker than like every time I try to find. It's like the fact that it's made to be more convenient because there's a bigger archive of stuff. Like overcomplicates it for me, and I try to like get as specific as I can. Yeah. like, and try to like get the thing to pop up with just like one search result, because I don't want to like pour through pages and pages of search results, because those searchable features aren't as sophisticated as you might want them to be, and like something that's going from an analog to a digital like searchable thing. Yeah, it's not great for a lot. Even in California, it's like it's not great. Like trying to find digitize. And I think this is kind of a fucking. I suspect that making it not great is kind of this clever way of like
burying stuff.
Because you could be like, oh, we've digitized all of our records now. It's like, yeah, now I can't fucking find anything. Right? And it's not like I don't know how to like use these tools, and it's not like I don't know what I'm looking for. Like I just type in thing I want or something, you know, like I know what I'm looking for.
Please take me to my Hotmail account.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like that. Like I will have something that's like, will be like Joseph Michael Lanton.
Whoa, hey, man.
Right?
Naming names,
fucking
bro.
Like, you know, 1982
Whoa.
August,
what?
Right? And like I'll have like a very specific like date with your name and like keyword, whatever, got woke or something. And it's
the
like
wokest American ever.
Right. And it's like all those things should be in there, right? Because this is another reason why. So when you list someone, usually you list their name, age, occupation, and often their address if available, especially on like police stuff. So if someone's in a police report, you list their address, and a lot of people get kind of irritated about that. Like if you're writing an article or you're doing like a police blotter, they get mad because their address will be in the police report, and it is common practice to put their address in the paper. So people know where they fucking live. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And they'll get mad at you, like, why are you listing my fucking address? Like, it's private information. It's like, if it was private information, it would be in a fucking public document. Yeah. So it is not private information. I hate to break it to you. Yeah. But, like, part of that is because you can search that, the address should be searchable, and you can search that address and find out who's lived there and when they lived there. And it's like, so it's like, if you're looking for articles and you know where someone lives, and you should just be able to search their address, it's the quickest way to wade through a bunch of documents that don't, you know, because someone could have the same name. If someone's named Joe Smith, it's like, fuck, dude, you're going to get like a quadrillion hits, right? Yeah. But if it's Joe Smith at 123, 742 Evergreen Terrace or whatever, like you just go, okay, 742 Evergreen Terrace. Who lives there? Who's lived there for 30 years, right? And so that's usually the way you do it. So if you have specific keywords, you should be able to search that shit. And sometimes just like no results. You're like, I get no results on this very specific thing. And then you're like, I'll try going a little more general then. Like I should, like the more information I have in a search should be the better. But then sometimes you have to wade through pages and pages and pages and stuff. And sometimes you can't find it. And you'll get like the city clerk and you'll be like, hey man, what's the deal? I can't like search this. It's like, it's all on there. I don't know what to tell you. It's like,
it's there.
Can I just come down and look at it? Like, oh, we don't really do that anymore. So you're just being a fucking bureaucrat at me to stop me from doing my job. Yeah. And you wonder why I think of you as an adversary. Like, I come down there, grab you by the fucking throat. Whoa, man. Show me where the fucking documents are.
Threatening me?
Yeah.
Are you threatening me?
Are you threatening me? Anyway. Okay, yeah, so that's probably it for this week then.
You can find us on YouTube. Please search us. We need more subscribers to our YouTube channel.
Come on. Did we get any this week?
We got Bailey.
Bailey!
That's $5.
Oh, damn.
5 ad dollars from our $0 pool. We're going to owe you, man.
Oh, baby.
Check us out on MikeyandthePressPass.com.
And Mikey and the Press Pass
at Instagram.
Instagram.
Mikey Burr on Instagram.
Mikey Burr at Instagram. We just got to have another outro. We're getting too much stuff that we got to...
I know, but just,
Outro. Where you at, lady?
Oh, outro lady, where are you?
Yeah. She's got that like velvety voice. It's just so like lulls you into like, yeah, I do want to do that. That's my cat. Fuck my old lady, man. Got a nicer voice than we do.
All right, that does it for this week. Aloha.
Thanks for listening to Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. Consider subscribing. You can rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and pretty much anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. And you can also write us with any ideas, suggestions, or horrible burning criticism at mikeyandthepresspass@gmail.com. Thank you.